Good morning. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Sebastian Oberthür. I'm professor at the Freie Universität Brüssel and at the University of Eastern Finland, actually. I'm speaking to you today as the academic coordinator of the GreenDeal NET network. This is the end of a 3-year period during which we received funding from the European Commission and it's under its Erasmus Plus program. But it doesn't obviously mean the end of our work as a network. So this is the network. 3 years later, so to speak. We have 12 partner universities, core partners in the network, formerly the consortium, but also 35 associated institutions around it, more than 90 experts, PhD students, more than 40 that form part of the network, and you see the numbers of the social media, the followers. So we have built a network and we will continue to operate and further expand the network, I hope. Before you had the core partners here, the associate members, just to illustrate that this is a bigger network than just the 12 core partners. This was the setup of the network, several work packages, and what's highlighted in blue kind of is the core of the network, and I'll talk a little bit about what we have done and achieved during the past 3 years. But we are engaged in teaching, in research collaboration, obviously. I mean, we're an academic network of academic institutions and research institutions. But an important part is also debating, engaging in societal policy debates, and then impact and dissemination to bring that to you and across society. Education highlights, a few things that we have been doing. We created a MOOC, a massive open online course, Understanding the European Green Deal, History, Challenges and Opportunities. It's still available out there. You can still take it. Over 1,000 people have already taken it. So that's quite something. We have a PhD school tomorrow. We have the final next session of the PhD school. A podcast series with so far 21 episodes. How Green is Your Deal? You see it to the left, so check it out. A whole series of lectures, including the environmental law lecture series. Everything is online, I believe, also on that. And we have cooperated on teaching with several workshops with research output. Special issues, I learned that 4 are already out. We have 3 on here on the European Green Deal and democracy, external effects of the European Green Deal, the Fit for 55 package and beyond. And more are in the pipeline, are under review, are being printed, etc. We prepared 5 state-of-the-art reviews in certain areas, including adaptation policy, the history and development of European climate governance. Again, some of these are still in the pipeline, but trying to synthesize the state of knowledge in these fields, also for use by the IPCC and other advisory bodies. 17 research visits of early career researchers across the network. We organized academic panels, more than 20, and research collaboration workshops amongst us, which, amongst other things, led to a Horizon project retool on the relationship between climate governance and democratic governance, still ongoing. Good. And then the policy link activities. As I said, a core element of actually any Jean Monnet project, but also something that's close to the heart of the network, trying to engage in debating, roundtable debates, a whole roundtable series on key issues in EU climate and sustainability governance. Everything is online. 2 conferences, one of them is today. So we are also practicing this today, the debating, right? Engaging in broader debates. We had organized 4 policy link workshops and published related policy papers. 5 editions of something that we call research highlights, where we try to very briefly summarize recent outcomes of research and the policy relevant messages coming out of that for a broader public and especially policymakers. And we have published nearly 30 policy briefs, op-eds and blog posts. Again, everything on the website, check it out. Which leads to kind of the vision that we've had and that will carry forward into the future, and that is about fostering collaboration and evidence-based debate on EU climate and sustainability governance for successful transition in turbulent and, as we can see in the daily news, increasingly disruptive times. So, and that is perhaps also the overall topic of today's conference, right? How do we go forward? What have we learned from the past in our research about how to advance the sustainability and climate transition in these disruptive times? Yeah, and that is already what we've been doing. It's a lot. As I said, it's not the end of it. Still some things coming out. And let's take stock today at the conference. Right, the climate and sustainability transition is about much more than reducing emissions. That's also part of our vision. It calls for radical change of societal and institutional systems in a turbulent context. And again, this is also something that we had crafted at the beginning of the network. So this radical, obviously going to the roots of things, but it leads radical these days, after 3 years, still appropriate, but times have changed, which has also led us to reflect on the name of the network, right? GreenDeal NET, and whether we would still give it the same name today. But we are sticking to our name, GreenDeal NET. Thanks very much.